Something very, very, very disturbing came to my attention, right? It's early in the morning, so, you know, I got time to reflect and think when I'm driving and stuck in traffic and all that. So, I seen yesterday, it was all over the internet that Meech had came home. And, you know, everybody's talking about it, everybody's posting it. But my cousin, Gerald Prince Miller, he came home last month. And it wasn't the same reaction. It wasn't even half the reaction. So, in my mind, in my eyes, I'm like, yo, we don't celebrate the real ones. We don't celebrate somebody that did 34 years in the penitentiary that never had no allegations, no type of smudge, no type of smear on their name, none of that. Like, we don't celebrate those people no more.
Okay, so Supreme Son took to Instagram to discuss his displeasure with the world greeting Big Meech the way they have. I mean, you know, everybody's talking about Meech coming home. All the women are posting on Instagram, ooh-wees. All the ex-BMF members are up in arms. All the members of society that looked up to BMF are happy. You feel me? That Big Meech got a chance to come home and join his family. And, you know, they're looking for the next move. But then you got people like Supreme McGriff Jr., whose father was the leader of the notorious Supreme team out of, I believe it is Queens, New York. Queens get the money, right, Supreme? And he doesn't believe that Meech should be celebrated the way the world is celebrating him. He'd like for the world to celebrate his uncle, Gerald Prince Miller, formerly of the Supreme team, who just came home off a 34-year bid. And he had a little bit to say about that. We're going to get into it. Check it out.
34 years down, never told, never spoke, never chirped, never murmured, none of that. Like, we don't celebrate those people no more. And I'm not saying Meech did whatever, but I'm just saying, like, my cousin came home and it wasn't the same energy. So I'm just telling y'all, when shit get lit, don't come over here, man. Don't come over here when it get lit, man. Y'all eating Meech up crazy yesterday, yo. And I don't like that shit, man. My cousin did 34 years, man. Celebrate him. We gotta celebrate him, man. Put in max pain. 34 years, man. That man could have, man, come on, man. We gotta call a spade, man. Word, this is my early morning thoughts, man. I ain't even trying to, you feel me? I just had to get this out off my chest, man. I don't like that shit, man. Word.
All right, peace. You already know where you at and who you rocking with, right? Right. So let's get into that then, man. There's been a lot of controversy over Big Meech coming home. He got a lot of hate. He got a lot of love. And then, you know, I don't even know what to call the other stuff. You feel me? Accusations. Let's just call it that. It's a lot of accusations being flung around at Meech, you know? Now, when I surf social media and I follow dogs, you know what I'm saying? Peace to the gods, you feel me? The Supreme team and everything. But I want y'all to listen to this.
Yo, something very, very, very disturbing came to my attention, right? It's early in the morning, so, you know, I got time to reflect and think when I'm driving and stuck in traffic and all that. So, I seen yesterday, it was all over the internet that Meech had came home.
He did?
And, you know, everybody's talking about it, everybody's posting it, but
he a worldwide nigga.
Gerald Prince Miller, he came home last month.
He a PR.
And it wasn't the same reaction.
It ain't gonna be the same reaction.
So,
what you talking about, dog?
Eyes, I'm like, yo, we don't celebrate the real ones.
We don't
Meech. Celebrate somebody that did 34 years.
Meech did 20
in the penitentiary that never had no allegations.
Meech never had allegations.
No type of smudge.
No smut on his name,
like,
dog.
We don't celebrate those people no more. Like, 34 years down, never told, never spoke, never chirped.
We're gonna talk about that.
Like, we don't celebrate those people no more. And I'm not saying Meech did whatever.
Yes, you are. You implying it.
My cousin came home and it wasn't the same energy.
And it shouldn't be.
I'm just telling y'all, when shit get lit, don't come over here, man.
We won't.
Don't come over here when it get lit, man.
We won't. Dig this here.
Y'all eating Meech up crazy yesterday, yo.
Dig this here.
I don't like that shit, man. My cousin did 34 years, man. Celebrate
so what?
him. We gotta celebrate him, man.
So what?
Put in Max Payne.
Check it out, dog. I'm done listening to dog. Check it out, man. Supreme Jr. All due respect and salute to your father, man. He is no Big Meech. Supreme is no Big Meech. Dig this here, dog. Big Meech operated on a global level. Did your uncle make it out of? Did your uncle or your cousin and your father, did they ever make it out of Queens? I mean, I'm sure they dealt with niggas from other states or whatnot, but did they make it out of Queens? You feel me? We talking about a dude that operated on a global level, man. Ain't no smut on Meech's name, man. I seen the papers flying around. You feel me? I see the papers flying around. I heard the call from Cuffy. But Cuffy can't tell you that Meech did shit to him. All he can tell you is that somebody else did something and he thinks it's on Meech's behalf. Meech could have been the only one to do this and that and the other and da-da-da-da-da. Man, all these dudes that got flaws love to throw one at somebody else so he ain't in the bucket by himself. You feel me? We see the flaws in these dudes and they love to put one on another nigga so another nigga ain't no better than them. That's the way I look at that, dog. Until a nigga tell me Meech did this, Meech did that, Meech pointed the finger, Meech set this up, and that's what the paperwork say. It's right there. But where did this paperwork come from, homie? You feel me? Where did the paperwork come from? Don't nobody... Man, I need the complete entire case file. You feel me? This is just a sheet of paper that's floating around. The Wiz got this off Instagram. Not Instagram, off Facebook. I don't got no Facebook. But she got it off of Facebook. You feel me? So we see the rumors and stuff like that. I guess it is accusations, but ain't no smut on that man's name. And yeah, you did imply that it was. Now let's talk about your uncle, dog. Let's talk about Prince, man. One of the most prolific I ain't gonna call him a serial killer. I'm gonna say one of the most prolific killers on the East Coast was Brian Glaze Gibbs. I interviewed him many times, had many conversations with him. And one of the conversations I had was about Gerald Prince Miller raping and torturing one of his ex-girlfriends. That's right, holding her hostage over the course of a week or so, or maybe even a few days. I don't want to misspeak, but he held her hostage and he burned her with curling irons and shit. And raped her over the course of the period of time that he had her, dog. That ain't a nigga that I want to salute. I don't care if he did 33 years or 34 years and didn't say nothing to nobody. I don't salute niggas like that. I say this all the time, and niggas talk they shit about me interviewing Alpo and Alpo this and Alpo that. I do the Alpo shit, whatever, dog. I'd rather stand next to a rat than a rapist, dog, any day. You feel me? Now let me say this out loud. I cannot confirm or deny this. All I know is what I know. And the story was told by a third party that don't even know. Well, I ain't gonna say they don't know Glaze, but didn't know Glaze told me that shit. You feel me? He didn't know Glaze told me that. And I spoke to Dog about Dog, and he said similar shit. Like, man, true indeed, he was a monster in the streets. But he was uncivilized, dog. You feel me? He was uncivilized, dog, practicing slave catcher ways or whatnot. Man, we don't condone that shit. I don't condone that shit. That's not a man I would want to salute. Now, I understand he your cousin, or whatever the case may be, but he is no Big Meech. He ain't even the Southwest T. He ain't even the Blue Da Vinci, dog. You feel me? Meech and T had more money than your father's whole operation, homeboy. Let's not get it fucked up. So don't go to the web talking about who niggas need to salute and this and that and the other and trying to draw narratives, because that's what that was. You tried to draw a narrative, dog. Why you just didn't come to the web and say, hey, man, why y'all ain't celebrate my uncle like that? You feel me? That would have been more respectable. I mean, I understand. I respect your opinion still. I just don't like it. Because I don't like the way you tried to shit on a Detroit nigga for no apparent reason at all. You feel me? You could have equated Meech coming home to your uncle coming home, but you ain't had to do it in the fashion you did it in. That prompted me to do this. That prompted me to do this, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like I said before, and I'm going to say this again in the end, man. Meech is one of the biggest hustlers the world has ever seen. BMF is one of the biggest conglomerates the world has ever seen. There'll never be another BMF. it'll never be another Big Meech, man. He didn't have to go to jail. While everybody talking to accusations, he could have ran, dog. He didn't have to go to jail. Chop on them told him, come on. Man, come down the tunnel. We got you. But he said, nah, man, he went to take time. He took time to get people less time, and now niggas is talking about he a rat. That's just crazy, dog. You gotta call a spade is what you said in that video, Supreme McGriff Jr. So that's saying call him a rat. You feel me? Cut it out, dog. I ain't gonna do that. And I'm gonna put it to you a little bit smoother than that. I don't care what Meech did. It's not gonna bother my opinion of that dude. He always gonna be one of the biggest hustlers Detroit City has ever seen, one of the biggest hustlers the world has ever seen. His name has to be mentioned. I don't care if you put an asterisk by it. I'm not. It has to be mentioned when you bring up the world's biggest. You feel me? Peace to the gods and earths. Until we meet again. I'll be back.
Convicted of running a huge criminal enterprise stretching from Atlanta to Detroit and several other states. The story of Big Meech, who headed up the Black Mafia family, is also the source of a popular TV show that has been filmed right here in Atlanta. And this week, after serving nearly 20 years in prison for racketeering, drug dealing, and running a criminal enterprise, he is out of prison. 11 Alive's Erica Murphy has more on his release and his sordid past.
Demetrius Flannery and his brother, Terry, ran one of the country's largest drug operations during the late 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. The pair had hundreds of employees, generated hundreds of millions of dollars, and even had a successful record label and magazine. But in 2006, the brothers were indicted in a federal RICO case originating out of Georgia.
BMF was the first group that was accused of being both a criminal organization and a record label.
Attorney Josh Shaefer says Demetrius, also known as Big Meech, is highly regarded because he never took a deal or snitched on his co-conspirators.
And he went down. And when he went down, he and his brother were sentenced to 30 years in prison.
In 2020, Terry Flannery was released, and just this week, Big Meech was released from prison. He will serve the remainder of his sentence at a halfway house in Miami. Reporting from Atlanta, Erica Murphy, 11 Alive News.